A while ago I translated a pattern called Twinkle, Twinkle, and it is a bunting pattern for a doll. And a lot of people asked me, a lot of the Danish people who then read the pattern asked me if I could do it for a baby. So I continued working on the pattern and I came up with a way to make it for an actual baby. It's a little bit bigger, the proportions are a little bit different, and of course the stitches are different. But I will say, it is still not my pattern, it's a rework, I will say, of the original pattern. I will link it below. I hope I don't get in any trouble for doing this. I'm not claiming that this is my pattern. If you want to know if you can distribute or sell or whatever from the pattern, please go read the original post on Crochet Roll, I think it is. This is not me sort of trying to gain... Well, I mean, I want to make the pattern and show it to you, but I'm not trying to profit off of it, that's what I'm trying to say. So please, it's not mine, the copyright still belongs to her, and don't hate me. I'm not trying to steal anything. So, but the beginning of the pattern, I will say, is very much like hers, and the beginning is a pentagon like this one, and also the overall idea, of course, is still hers. No matter if I changed all the stitches, the idea and the design roughly would still be hers. But it is... First we're going to start by making 2 pentagons. I will show you how. It is quite big, as you can see. The stitches are quite big because I'm using a size 5 crochet hook. I'm also using big merino by Drops. I don't know if you have that anywhere else in the world, but if you do, that's what I'm using. It is 100% merino and it's so soft. It's really nice yarn and it's just, oh, it's so nice to work with. But I'll start by showing you the pentagon. Then I will show you how to do the points. You need to make 2 of the pentagons, one for the back and one for the front. And the 2 are different, so we're going to continue on with the back side next. And then last we'll do the finishing touches on the front. And yeah, let's do that. This is a very long video, therefore I have left links to all the parts of the video here, and you can get to it by clicking this menu button. To begin with, make a slip knot. Now make chain 3. The very first stitch can become bigger or smaller when you pull on it. And this is what we're going to be working in. Make 9 double crochet in the same... No, sorry, half double crochet in the same stitch. You do that by making a normal double crochet, and then instead of going through 2 to begin with, you just go through all 3. This first stitch that we are working in has the ability to become smaller and bigger, and when we work in it, it will get bigger. And you can see me pulling on the tail thread there, because we can close it back up, no matter how big it becomes. So this was 9, and I'll just pull really tight on my tail thread, and then I'm going to sew it into the work. Because really, there is a little bit of a challenge with starting this way, and really, if you put too much pressure on the beginning stitch here, it will become really big and you might lose those initial stitches. So here I will sew it in, of course, but first I'll knot it here in order to secure it. Now, the remaining thread I will work into the work. That was a strange sentence. I will I will crochet it into the work going forward. Now I'll make a slip stitch in the third chain of our beginning chain in order to finish this row. So here we are. You will now have 10 stitches in this round. Now chain 3. No, 4. Chain 4. And then you're going to do 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. And I'll show you the first couple of rounds because there is something very specific that you need to do to finish all of the rounds, which might be a little bit difficult. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, you need to do 2 double crochet in each stitch and then chain 1. This will give you 10 chain spaces, because we're working towards getting a pentagon, so a 5-sided object, I guess, and we're going to use these 10 holes or 10 spaces in order to get 5. Now I have reached the last stitch here, and I will do 2 double crochet in this as well, and then I will chain 1, and now I have a chain 3, which is the same as a, oh yeah, I forgot to do a chain before this one. I'll just do it again. But the chain 3 that we started with is also considered a double crochet, and it's kind of alone now. Everyone else has a partner, but this is all alone, so we need to fix that. So do your the last chain, and then do a double crochet into the base of this chain 3 chain. It should be fairly obvious where to put it, but if you can't figure out where to put it, just put it as close to that chain 3 as you can. And that actually, then you slip stitch into the third chain, and that finishes this. Now I'm just going to count. I need to have 20 double crochet on the previous round, including my chain 3 space. It's very important at this stage that you actually have the correct number of stitches. So if you, like I was when I just began crocheting, if you have a little bit of trouble keeping the right stitch count, please count on these starting rounds. It's very important for the later stages that this is correct. The third round, you're going to chain 4 2, and you're going to never work in the chain spaces that is on the previous round. We're only working in our 20 double crochet. So chain 4, skip the chain 1, and then do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Now do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Remember to skip the chain space on the previous round. And now do 2 double crochet in the last stitch. Then chain 1 and repeat. So here we are again. We're going to start by doing 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Now do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch on this side. This is going to be this is the beginning of our 5-sided thing. You can see it already looks a little bit like a side. So 2 double crochet in the same stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Remember to skip the chain space, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch and a chain 1. And we'll do it twice more. And again, I'll take you all the way to the end in order to ensure that you get the last stitch correct. So, I was almost about to work in that chain space, but 2 double crochet in this stitch, then 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches. And now we're at this point again, and we don't have enough stitches, so we need to work into the beginning chain and regard that as a double crochet. So do a double crochet into the base of the first chain 3, and then do a slip stitch into the third chain, the third stitch on your chain. It looks very round, but when we progress, it will become a polygon. Now, again, you're going to do a chain 3, skip the chain space, and do 2 double crochet in the next stitch. Now do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 2 here and 2 in the next one. Now do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch on this edge. Now we're at the end of the first edge. Yeah, this is just what remains of my beginning tail. Now chain 1, and you're going to do exactly the same again. So you'll have this pattern 5 times, and it is 2 double crochet in the first stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochet in the last stitch. And then chain 1. And again, I'm just showing you the entire round because it is a little bit of a challenge to get this correct. And it is very dependent on you actually having the correct number of stitches, and therefore you might, if you're not completely sure how to do this, you might increase or decrease, so that this little trick with using the chain, the first chain 3, that it just doesn't work if you have the wrong number of stitches. And I think a part of getting this correctly is knowing exactly how it's supposed to look, and I hope it helps. I hope it helps you to see me doing the entire thing, even though it might be kind of boring to watch someone else crochet. So now I'm at the end again here, and you can really see there is a little bit of a knot underneath, in the first 3 here. But if you really can't find it, go in and around the chain space, and then just do your double crochet in there, and then slip stitch in the 3rd here. It will look somewhat similar. It's not the same thing, but if you're really struggling, please do this instead of giving up. Because it might not be the perfect solution, but it's better than nothing, or frustration if you really can't. If you really can't figure out how to do that. And I think now it starts to look like something that has edges rather than a round thing. The 5th round is a little bit of the same. So start by chaining 4, skip the first space, and then do 2 double crochet in the first stitch on this edge. Now do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 double crochet in the next stitch, and then do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 double crochet in the next. Now do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch, and then chain 1 and repeat. Oh, and of course, please skip the chain space. So 2 in the first stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, two double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 in the next 2 stitches, two double crochet in the next stitch, then 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 double crochet in the last stitch. Then chain 1, and you're going to do exactly the same again to finish this round. I have strange pink lints inside this yarn, and it's weird because I've just unwrapped it, and normally I do have dog hair everywhere, but I was very careful with this not to get anything on it, and I've kept it very clean and inside bags and stuff, because it's for a lady who is giving birth in December. So it's was it just for me, I could just not care how much dog hair gets into it, and I could just wash it out afterwards, but I was actually very careful not to get any dog hair in it. And the first time I encountered this strange pink thing in it, I was like, I don't even know where in my house that came from and what it is. But there's a lot in here, and it's all sort of felted up in the yarn, so I think it might be from production. Also because it's clearly the same type of fiber that the yarn is made of, so I don't know, I'm kind of hoping that it's not dog hair, unless my dog dyes his hair pink when I'm not home, and I don't think he does. I kind of hope he doesn't. Okay, so now we get to the edge. Sorry. Now we get to the end again. And once again, we're going to do the last stitch, and then we're going to do the very last stitch into the beginning of our round. And then a slip stitch to finish the round in the third chain of the... No, in the first stitch, sorry, the third stitch of the 3-chain beginning that we made. So this is going to look like this, and beginning the sixth, that's a really difficult word to say. The next round, which is number 6, has a little bit of a different type of row. So we will start by chaining 4 and then skipping the space, just like we've been doing. And now we're going to do 2 double crochet in the first stitch. Now from here on, do 1 double crochet in the next 12 stitches, and then do 2 double crochet in the last stitch on this edge. So what you could do from here is you could do 2 double crochet in the first stitch on the edge, and then do 1 double crochet until you're at the last stitch. 1 double crochet in each stitch until you're at the last stitch, and then in the last stitch you're going to do 2 double crochet in the same stitch, and then chain 1 and do the same on all the other 4 on the remaining 4 edges. And it's actually really good because now we can just increase from here. So the last round is going to be 2 double crochet. No, sorry, not the last round. The next round, the 7th round, is going to be 2 double crochet in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next 14, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch, chain 1, and repeat 4 times. And then the round after that is going to be 16, and then 18, and so on until we're at 24. Meaning that we're going to have 28 stitches on a side, because we'll have two stitches in the first one, then 24 stitches, and then 2 stitches at the last one, which is 28. And I'm not going to be showing you all of these, because I think you have figured it out now. And of course, you need to do the thing with doing a double crochet into the the first double crochet on the round, which is not really a double crochet, but a chain 3. You need to keep doing that in order to make it consistent. And I actually think, even though it's a little bit of a pain to do, it's really a quite that made no sense. It's quite a cool way of doing these rounds, because you don't get the strange beginning. Not strange, but normally you can really tell where the round starts and ends, and I think this is a really cool way of sort of addressing that. So even if it might seem a little bit difficult to begin with, I really think it's worth trying to figure out how to do it, because it does make a little bit of a difference. It is a little bit nicer than other ways I've seen of doing this. Or not doing this in particular, but doing rounds where you're finishing each round, rather than just working in a spiral. The yarn is... It's really cool, and it's really nice to work with. It's 100% merino, and therefore it's super soft. But it's made of 8, or I think it's 8. It's made of a lot of threads, and therefore it splits really easily. So you'll see me a lot of times do a stitch, pull it out, and then redo it, because I've actually split the yarn. Even though the hook is not... It's not pointy at all. Normally you have this issue in knitting, because the needles are quite pointy, but the crochet hook really isn't pointy, but it just splits the yarn anyway. I don't know if it perhaps has to do with my technique. And as I said, please keep doing the strange finishing things that we've been doing. So now it starts to look a little bit more like a 5-sided thing. So as I said, now we're going to continue and we'll do the same thing. So 2 double crochet in the, chain 4, 2 double crochet in the first, double crochet on the previous round, do 1 double crochet in the next 14, 2 double crochet in the last stitch on the edge, and then chain 1 and repeat. And you'll increase the number in the middle, so before it was 12, now it's 14. You will increase that by 2 for every round that you continue with. Now if you prefer the methods where you'll just do 2 double crochet in the first one, 1 double crochet until there's 1 left, and then 2 double crochet in the last stitch on the edge, you will have to count them to make sure that you end up at the correct spot. Or if you want to, you could measure. So say you have a baby that is bigger than 1 to 3 months, which this is going to be. So you would just continue on with doing these rounds and increasing the number in the middle until you have the size that you would need. You basically need from the neck to the the butt. You need that to be within the bounds of this polygon. And for this, I think I end up with 60 centimeters. And of course, they grow fast, right? So if it's for a bigger baby, you would perhaps do 70 or 80. So this is what it's going to be. And this finished edge is, as I said, 28 stitches. Oh no, sorry, I misspoke. It's 30 centimeters. But I think I ended up around 60 or 70 centimeters. So, now that you've completed the 2 pentagons, I will show you how to do the back, and I'm going to show it to you once, but you're going to do it 5 times for each of the sides of your pentagon. So I'll show you, and I'll just show you with a body. This is for a newborn. So the baby will have its legs here and the head up here. And we will make both the head and a hat for it. Now here we'll just mark where the top will be. And at the bottom you need a point in order for the 2 legs to come out next to each other, I guess. And at the top you need a flat side, like this one. So I'll just mark this as my top. And I'll do the same on the other polygon when I'm finished with it. Now this is the back of the piece, and we need to do parts of the star here. I have cut my yarn for reasons that I can't remember. If you're smarter than me, you won't cut your yarn from this. I'm not completely sure why I did that. It was not smart. But attach a new piece of yarn, and now we're going to chain 3. And then do one double crochet in each stitch all the way across. This should be on the edge where you don't have your marker. I'm not completely sure why I am working over the edge. That should be my hat piece, but I'll just move the marker. So I'll just count so that I have the correct number. I have 29 because I'm not going to work into my beginning chain 3, which means that I have 28. Now chain 3 and do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way back. All of the remaining rows on the points is going to look exactly like this. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over and go back. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through 2. Keep these loops on the hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch and get another loop. You now have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over and go through 3. Now what we just did was we did 2 double crochet halfway done, and then we crocheted them together. So on this row we're going to have 2 double crochet, but on the next row there's only 1 stitch, meaning that we will have just 1 stitch to work in. At the end of the row, do 1 double crochet until you have 2 stitches left, and then at the end of the row you're just going to repeat that. So this was half a double crochet, yarn over, go into the next one, finish this double crochet halfway, here we go, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. Now chain 3 and repeat that. So you're going to decrease at the beginning of the round, then do 1 double crochet in each stitch until you have 2 stitches left, and you're going to do a 2 double crochet together in these 2 stitches also. Over the next 14 rounds, you're going to get a point, and you will end up with 4 stitches at the end. It should look like this. And don't worry that it's not completely pointy yet, we will fix that later. Now you can cut the yarn. So you should have something that looks like this, and I know the edge is terribly ragged, but we are also going to fix that. When we're going to crochet it all together, it will be very pretty, very much prettier. A lot prettier. Now this was where I got the 30 centimeters. From the middle out to the point, there are 30 centimeters.
On the back, which this is, you're going to do 4 points and just leaving 1, and that one will be the one that we use for the head.
Okay, so now to the front. It's going to be a little bit different, as I said, than the original, but we're going to do exactly what you just did, but only to 2 sides. And I will show you the other ones afterwards. But keep in mind, the 2 that you make points at, they are going to be the feet. And then we are going to have two points that are for the hands. And then the last one will be for the head. And we need to do different things to that, because, as I said, babies' heads are bigger. So, let's do that.
Now we'll do 2 points that are not attached to the pentagons, and you'll do that by chaining 28 to begin with. So here we are. That is instead of this part. Now hold the last stitch and then chain 3 and do a double crochet into the stitch you just held. Now you're going to do 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way down the chain. Now the end, you're going to do 3. You're going to chain 3 and then turn. Just like we just did on this point. It's going to be exactly the same pattern. We just need it to be loose. You need it to be free of a pentagon. I don't know how to put this in English. You need 2 of these that are not attached to anything. And they are going to be the sleeves. So here is the back. This is the legs. And these parts up here are the arms. Or they're going to be the sleeves. And this part up here will be the head once we make it. This is the front, and as I said, it has only the legs, and then it has 3 bare edges. So now we need to do the hat, and then we need to crochet it all together. This is the hat part. And I do this very differently from the original pattern that this was made from, because the original pattern was for a doll, and a normal baby has a little bit of a bigger head than most dolls have. And here you're going to chain 30. Now hold the last stitch, chain 3, and then do 1 double crochet into the stitch that you're holding. Now, all the way down the chain, you're going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch. Down here, we're going to do 3 double crochet in the very last stitch. And because we're working into the beginning chain of the beginning stitch of the chain, I should say, it has a tendency to become bigger, and again, you'll just pull it, and probably it's a good idea to just secure it by doing a slip knot or a knot of a different kind. I'll just pull it through here, and then pull the tail through, and then that will be my knot. Now, do 1 double crochet down the other side of the spine of the beginning chain. And you're just going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch again. When you get back to the beginning, up here is the top of the hat, and where the hook is the base of the neck. So now chain 3 and turn, and now we're not going to work in rounds anymore, you're going to do rows. And the rest of the pattern is just this. Do 1 double crochet in each stitch, chain 3, turn, do 1 double crochet in each stitch, and so on and so on. And what this will create is a hood. And it's probably the same as is on a normal hoodie, but it will have a little bit of a point at the top. So this will look weird if you don't know exactly what this is going to look like, but if you get to the point here and it sort of buckles, that is exactly what we want. So just do 1 double crochet in each stitch until you have until the base of the neck is the same size as the part of the star where it's going to be attached. So I'm just going to work back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I'll just show you what this is supposed to look like. It will be somewhat the same height of a normal point, or not a normal point, but the point that we did on the remaining sides. The thing that is different is that it's going to be deeper than these. And on the original pattern, there's a really nice way of finishing a point so that it becomes a hat piece. And I think I have an English entry on my blog where I show you the original star that I made. I may or may not. It may just be in Danish because I translated the pattern into Danish. It's not that I don't like the original hat, I just think that it's not suitable for a child, for the different proportion that a child does have. So here I'm just going to continue until this is the same size as this part here. And I think it will be different for different people. So I just continued until it looked right. And, well, a double crochet is normally a 1 crochet. It's the same height as 1 crochet is wide. But it's really different with different people. I think my double crochets are perhaps a little bit tall compared to a lot of people, so it's really difficult to say. But I think if you want a guide number, you're probably going to do 14 rows, meaning 13 because we started with a round. So you're probably going to go up to round or row 14 for this. Now I'm just going to sew the hat to the back piece. The first try I did, I actually crocheted them together, but you get a sort of ridge, and that's not really something that we want. So Now let's start the assembly, and I will start by pinning the sleeves to the back piece. The sleeves are really part of the front, but they are attached to the back in order to make it easier to actually put a baby into it, because they're not necessarily the easiest to stuff into anything. So it should be easy to close it, and for that matter to have them, if you want a baby to wear this without necessarily have his or her arms trapped in it. Therefore we're pinning this to the back rather than to the front. I've seen versions of this where the sleeve was actually put onto the front and it was the top edge that was open, and this is of course also a possibility if you want to experiment with it. Now, I made a giant mistake that I included here for you to see, and it is that the back piece, if you look at the back piece, the front is actually facing me, and now I put the front piece on and the front of the front piece is also facing me, meaning that if I crochet them together now, I'm going to have my back piece, the back of my back piece is going to be showing, and I don't want that, so I'll just take it apart again. It's very important that you check these things. It's a little bit like counting your stitches. It's one of those things that I'm learning, and this time luckily I caught it before I got too far into it. So now I am looking at the back of the back piece and the front of the front piece, and now I am just pinning them together again. And I put in the pins because it always shifts when you're crocheting. Oh, not you necessarily, but it always shifts when I am crocheting things together. So for me, it ensures a better result when I've pinned it together before I start. Down here I am pinning the holes together and making sure that they line up, because it becomes very easy to see mistakes and inconsistencies when things like lines don't match up. And what you're going to do after this is you're just going to do one double crochet. No, sorry, I've been saying that for the past hour, so now I'm just going to say double crochet for anything. But you're going to do one single crochet all the way around this piece. And now it's really starting to look like something. So this is the top edge that I was talking about, that you could have open if you want. So in order to crochet it together, I am just sticking my crochet needle through both of the layers, and then I'm yarning over and finishing a single crochet. So go in through the both of them, get a loop, and then finish the single crochet. And you'll do that all the way around. The only thing that is a little bit different is the edges, or the points I should say. This is of course the edge, so the pointy bit will be the point. Up here you're going to do first a half double crochet, then a double crochet, and then a half double crochet. And then you're just going to carry on. And it won't be a very fine point. It won't be very pointy. But it will be pointy enough, I think.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time.